Hello and welcome to another DIY for Kids with me and Megan. Don't forget, like this video, subscribe to Martin Roberts Property Titbits for more of this stuff. Tell your kids, get them involved in these projects. I'm really proud of them. Trying to inspire young people like Megan to take up not exactly DIY as in painting and decorating, but doing projects and using some skills and techniques which they can find useful in later life as well. But the most important thing, it's got to be fun and you've got to go, yay, you want to do DIYs.
Yay!
Yay, okay, so good. So you want to do this, right? So what again I'm trying to do is something which I think you'll find quite useful. So we have on the table 2 bits of wood, a notebook and pen even, right? A ruler, a pencil and a pair of pliers. Not a lot of things, right, this time?
Yeah.
There's one thing I'm missing.
What?
This is a surprise. It's this! It's an old guitar.
Yeah, you can play a lot of that.
Well, you could play a lot with it, but I thought that perhaps we could have some real fun trying to make something out of this old guitar. Now, I think that old guitar is definitely well past its peak. What I want you to think about, perhaps, is reusing old things that you might throw away. I mean, people, I imagine, would throw that away because an old guitar is never really going to work very well. So I want you to think about using things which you might otherwise throw away to create something really fun and funky. And I saw something which I thought was really ace, which is where somebody converted a guitar into a set of shelves. And that's not a set of shelves like that, when you put things on like that, okay? It's actually a set of shelves like that, where the shelves go across here. And I thought that was something fun and funky for your bedroom. What do you think? So, what do you think the biggest problem we've got is?
How are we going to attach these?
How are we going to attach these, yeah. But also, we've got to kind of open it up, because my plan is to have the actual shelves inside the guitar.
Yeah.
So we've got to get in here somehow. So, first thing, we've got to investigate what's inside, and I think we've got to try and take off this front.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure how guitars are made, because I've never made the guitar. So we want to look inside, and if you look inside, can you see the sort of crossbars in there?
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to think how we can maybe investigate what's inside this without destroying it, because I don't really want to destroy those crossbars.
Yeah.
Because I think those things are quite important, and if we get rid of them, the whole thing's going to fall apart.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think the first thing we've got to do is to try and get in to have a look in here. But the first thing we've got to do is we've got to get rid of the strings. So, just in case they go twang, most important in any child's, in fact adult's DIY a project, of course, as well, is safety. So we're wearing goggles, we're wearing a face mask, and we're wearing glasses. Just in case, nice plug on a pair as well. Okay, I'll just make sure I'm a safe distance away. I want you to cut the stuff, right? Now, what we're going to use is we're going to use if you look at this, it's a pair of pliers, but that bit there is the cutty bit, those two teeth there. So try cutting it with that bit there. Okay, a bit further in, that's it. Squeeze hard. Boing, there we go. Oh, twang, that's good. Oh, twang, oh, well done, on a roll. Little bits there. Right, so we got rid of those, so we can tidy that up. So now, what I think we need to do is try to see what's inside, okay? Bearing in mind that there's those cross members. Let's just get our handy book. So, we have our guitar, okay? Which is shaped like that. That looks like a lollipop than a guitar. But we know we've got a hole here, and we know we've got these bars going across like that. But we've got to try and investigate where they are. They're underneath the surface, and my guess is there's one there as well, which has got the thing which had the strings attached to it, okay? So I think what we want to do, last time I hasn't played notes, okay, anyway, so I think we need to drill, sort of cut through here and here and here and here, so we can have a look inside.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we're going to use for that is this thing. If you remember, this is an oscillating cutter, okay? And I quite like this because it cuts wood, but I wouldn't suggest you do this, but I just want to show you it's actually quite safe, but I'm just showing you that's the reason I quite like this as a tool for kids, because it is actually quite a safe tool. But as with all tools, we always think about if we're using it, if we slipped, where it's going to go. So we'd never use a tool like that so it slipped into our leg. We'd always use a tool so it slipped away from where our hands and anything else to do with us is, okay? That's really important. So put your gloves on and let's have a dig about and cut into this. Now I might actually swap the blade from the big roundy one to a slightly smaller kind of flatty one, and you're now going to go into there. There's a bar that we can see going across like that, and there's another bar like that, and there's another bar going across about there.
And then
There's probably one there, you're right, or this is probably attached to one, my guess is. Why don't we chop out like that there, and a bit like that there, and then we can see what's inside a bit better. Oh dear, we've chopped through that one.
Ew.
Not to worry, collateral damage, keep going. Right, so now maybe we can see a bit better what's in there. Oopsie. What I'm going to do, I'm going to cut all those off so they don't focus. We know there's definitely one there which we've just chopped through, which is annoying, but there we go. I think we can investigate a bit further down here. Feels like if you put your hand in there, what can you feel? Bars going across, right?
Yeah.
So we're sort of working in the dark a bit here. I can't feel another bar going across. So I think we're just going to have to risk it. And I'm going to draw a line. And we're going to cut it and see what happens. Oh wow! Look at that! What's that look like to you?
Oh, a plastic bag.
Yeah. Why is it all cut into bits like that?
Both has been like a mouse.
I think a mouse has been living in this guitar. Isn't that cool? So, there we go. We can now see what's in it. And I reckon those things at the back are the more important ones. That's what it looks like inside. Yeah, look. That's how it's all built. And that's where the little thing at the back there is screwed on. Quite interesting taking things apart, isn't it? See how they built it. We now need to probably cut this a lot neater towards the edge, okay? I think the round thing is going to be easier to do that. So if I draw you a line, I think you can follow it.
Yeah.
And keep a little bit extra on the edge to just provide a bit of strength. So it doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to sand this anyway, but with your new roundy bit on here, so the way to use this is if you sort of do it like that and let it just cut its way through and then turn this as you go around, okay? Give it a go and I'll help you a bit. Now. That's interesting, isn't it? That's coming off. I think we'll just have to live with that and we'll just tidy that edge up. Okay? We could probably use something else. And you know what? I think we're going to go back to plan A, which was this other one, because I think it was easy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the blade's a bit big. If you make mistakes, it doesn't matter. You learn from them, that's the key. Okay, this is going to look good. We're going to have to tidy up the edges a bit. I don't think we need to worry about that. We can sort it out. I didn't realise that would happen. Oh, look. So that is a bit of a key bit to me. So what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to just help with all this bit because unfortunately we've lost a bit of that, but so I think we'll leave that like that. We can always dye that, paint it. So now we have got the basis for our funky shelf. So now what I think we need to do is probably put our little shelves in the places where they are, okay?
Yeah.
So this is where this wood comes in. So what we need you to do is measure that distance there, okay? So do you want to measure that distance from there to there if you can?
35.
35, okay, that's 35. And what about this one?
22.
22, so that was that, 35 and 22. We use this wood here as our shelf, and this was actually stuff that's used on walls to create like a panelling effect, because it's called tongue and groove. It's called tongue and groove because that looks like a bit like a tongue, and that's got a groove. So it's called tongue and groove board. So we need to measure that distance again, which was what?
22 and 35.
22 and 35, good memory. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to measure that and then we're going to cut it, okay? So this is called a set square, and it does at 90 degrees. That against there, you see that, then that makes that line, as long as it's on like that. So if you draw a line with that, that's great. So what we're going to do now is we're going to cut that off first. This is a hand saw. So what I want you to do is use this with me. So when we start, the hardest thing is starting it. So you don't want to be like that, because then you cut your finger. You're going to put your finger like that, so it's going and rubbing against your hand there like that, okay?
Yeah.
Or against your knuckle. But we're not going to get to do that anyway because you're wearing your gloves. So with that in place, link your thumb like that. That's it. Line it up with where it needs to be. Start slowly. Okay. So now we need to measure the second shelf, which is 35. So 5. Oh, there you go. you want to draw that line? That's amazingly in exactly the right place. It's great. Okay, so we just chop that. So gloves back on. It's okay to help in any stage of this DIY for kids. Slowly towards the end so it doesn't split, and boom. Okay, should we try that one in place? You can take your gloves off now. Bit of a tight fit, but goes in there. And that one. So, all we've got to do is fasten those in place. What? That's nice and snug actually, that's great. So we'll fasten those in place, which is probably by, what?
Meter.
Yeah, neater. So we'll probably put a screw in there and a screw in the bottom of there into that.
Or glue it.
Or glue it. Yeah, glue it's a good idea. And maybe something in the edges, but we're not going to put heavy things on it, so I think that would probably work really well. So I think this is perfect for putting all sorts of things on it. What sort of things might you put on it?
My gymnastics trophy.
Your gymnastics trophies. I think that would look really smart. So all we've got to do now is clean it up, and I'll help you with that. And then clean up the exterior, glue these in place. What would you rather do?
Probably pink if it's going in my room.
Paint it.
Yeah,
Paint it what colour?
probably white.
Paint it white. Well, we'll do that. So, but that's going to be a bit boring to watch. So we'll just finish this off over the next half an hour or so. But in the meantime, do you see what you've done there? You've taken something which we were going to throw away, and you're quite interested in that?
Yeah.
Showing you what's inside the guitar, showing me what's inside the guitar, and we've made something which I think, when it's finished, will be really rather cool.
Yeah.
So there you go. That is another DIY for kids idea. Make sure that you like this video. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel, tell your friends, tell their children, and let's just inspire kids like Megan to get involved in a bit of DIY and get creative. See you next time.